Hello and welcome to the Cow's Den. I am Josh. With me, as always, is Matt. What's up, Matt?
What's up, bitches? We're
This is
legal.
this is episode 19 of the Cow's Den podcast. We talk comics, pop culture, nerdy shit. If you haven't listened to us yet, please go back and listen to some of our past episodes. You might find something you enjoy. I'm going to start this week off as I usually do with some comic stuff. I read a couple of comics this past couple of weeks. I've been a little bit behind. I got kind of busy these past couple of weeks.
You're behind on comics,
man. I just feel
I'm
like
way behind.
It's like we were a little behind on the last episode too. I feel like we got to start getting caught back up, but we'll get there. I read a new comic called start this off with this called Primordial. It's Jeff Lemire. I am not sure how to pronounce his name. He writes Marvel stuff. He wrote East of West. He all kinds of good work, but this is a new series called Primordial. So the idea for this is that the monkeys who were sent into space, like as the first astronauts in space, they sent monkeys out first, right? Mm-hmm. Those monkeys like disappeared. They went out for a while and then they disappeared. And so during this, somebody's trying to like clean out all this old government stuff, and he finds out that apparently there were like vital readings and heart readings and whatever after they disappeared. And so he was like trying to figure out what the fuck happened. And the whole ending of the first issue, I'm sorry, total spoilies on and stuff. So the whole ending of the first issue is that a government guy comes to him and he's just like, they didn't disappear, they were taken. And that was the end of the first issue. So you're like, oh shit, okay. Got like a nice little twist on the history.
Who's the distributor?
It's Image Comics. Image Comics. Yeah, it's out now. Issue 1 out now from Image Comics. Issue 2 I think is next month.
I love just about everything from Image, so
it's hard to find something that I can't like at least find something good out of from Image. Like they've always got good work going.
Their writing's just really good. Their writing's very good.
Speaking of which, the next one is Radiant Black. Radiant Black is on issue 8 now from Image Comics. That's Kyle Higgins is the writer, and Marcelo Costa is the artist. And this issue, I mean, we're following, again, I've talked about this one in the past, we're following these Radiants who were given this like alien power. Essentially they're Power Rangers, but like it's done in a different way, and it's done in kind of an original way, and I appreciate it. And this one, in the last issue, they were fighting. They all got caught up with this bad guy, and they were fighting this bad guy. This issue is kind of them finishing that fight with the bad guy, and then he kind of just bails. He find out that the bad guy is actually like absorbing their powers, so they bail and kind of run from him. But he's got this whole sinister, your world is coming to an end and you don't know what the fuck you're up against. So it's pretty cool, man. I'm anxious to see where this ends up going. It's been a pretty fun ride so far. Like I said, I've mentioned this multiple times. In issue 4, they flat out switch it up on you, and they take out the main guy and bring in a new guy as your main guy, bring in his buddy as the main guy now. So it's just a bizarre story. Well, not bizarre, but like unique,
different.
Yeah. It's been a fun read so far though. Issue 8 definitely good follow-up. It wasn't like crazy issue, but it was definitely good. Still a good read. Right, next one is Nightwing issue 84. This is actually, I found out today, this is going to be part of a 3-part connecting cover set. How do I do this?
Ooh,
connecting cover set. They're going to stretch out, so connecting covers there. This is Tom Taylor. Bruno Redondo actually does the artwork, but he took a break on this one. They got a guest artist on this one, so artwork may look a little bit different, but still awesome.
All right, Josh, Dick or Damien?
That is quite honestly one of the hardest questions for me, because I am Damien is my favorite Robin, hands down. Yeah. But Dick, and especially
Nightwing
in this issue, there's a thing where, so the whole point of this issue is it's starting to tie into the Fear State storyline, which essentially is the Future State story stuff they released like 6 months ago. Gotham has been brought into a I don't know how to say it. I mean, I guess a fear state, but like they've been brought into a total control type of state, like a police state. That's the word I'm looking
Okay.
for. A police state where there are blimps flying overhead that are constantly watching you. There are soldiers on the street that are constantly watching you.
Martial law kind of thing.
Thank
There we
you.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, and like if you're out past curfew, they just straight arrest you. There's
if
nothing
there's
no question, they just arrest you.
If there's one city that deserves it in comics, it's Gotham.
And that's kind of the thing is like he mentions it, you know, he's like, this is what happened when fear wins, and that's what.
Well, is he in Gotham or is he in?
So he's in Bloodhaven. So hang on.
Okay.
So the whole thing though with Gotham is that it's Scarecrow's big plan was that he would, instead of using toxins and stuff as fear, he would straight create like an underlining fear of the unknown, to the point where they would start policing the hell out of the place. Anyway, Nightwing's in Bloodhaven. He gets a call from Babs, from Barbara Gordon, to come to Gotham because she needs help. And he gets there and finds out it was a trap from the Magistrate, which is the like military company that's running Gotham right now. So he gets a call from Babs, goes over to Gotham. It's obviously a trap. So he's fighting off all these Magistrate dudes, and then fucking Batman busts in and they start working together, fighting together and stuff. And man, the whole time that they're fighting together, I'm sitting here like, that's fucking Bruce and the Boy Wonder, like Batman and the Boy Wonder. Like, like I love Damian to death, but damn it, dude, Dick is just.
Well, I always go back to Frank Miller did All-Star Batman and Robin, and that's actually my favorite Robin moment. Is Batman and Dick are with Green Lantern, and Batman had painted this entire room yellow. Painted all themselves yellow, and Hal Jordan is talking crap to Dick about, oh, you're just his little sidekick, you can't do anything, you hold Batman back. And he fucking one punches, breaks his trachea, and Batman backhands him and has to save Hal Jordan. And he's like, you don't understand, I'm the one that holds him back. And I was just like, oh my God, a great moment in Batman and Robin.
Well,
even though that fucking series tanked, but that is one of my favorite moments of Batman.
I will love Damian to death. He's my favorite Robin. I got him as he's not set up right now. I got my little Damian guy. He's my favorite Robin, but with the history of Nightwing and the history of Dick, I feel like Dick just has more under his belt to be more respected, I guess. Would be the way of saying it. So
well, and I mean, Nightwing is just an amazing character. He's probably the best of the Bat family. And
that's actually, I don't know if I told you this, my wife is a huge Nightwing fan.
Way.
She loves the Dick. And so for her birthday,
and she loves the gray.
I got her.
She loves the gray bush.
For her birthday, I got her Teen Titans, Tales of the Teen Titans, and I can't remember which issue it is now. But it's first appearance of Dick as Nightwing. Yeah, first time he changes into becoming Nightwing. And then right now it's at CGC getting signed by George Perez, the artist.
Oh man, that's so awesome.
That was her birthday present, and she was pretty happy about that. All right, I got just a couple more comics here. This one, I actually have it up back here. This is my Batman Day display. It took out all my Last Night on Earth figures and built the big Bane, and you can't really see it, but there's a Scarecrow on the back of Bane. Scarecrow, dude, if you ever read Last Night on Earth, Scarecrow has like no bottom half. His hands are syringes.
Oh yeah.
All like, and he rides on the back of Bane, which is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I have the actual book back there, but I'm going to show off this little Batman Day free preview version. This is called Batman the World. So the idea behind this, I mean, with it being called Batman the World, is that artists and writers from all over the world show off different stories for Batman. And I mean, they've got all over from South Korea. That is if you can hear that's my cat meowing in the background right now. So they've got writers and artists from all over the world. I want to say there's about 10 different stories in it. It's only about $20-25 for the actual book. Just a great read. I haven't finished it all yet, but the one for America is Lieber Mijo is the artist, and Oh, I can't remember the writer, but it's the one who did that Joker book, and they did Batman Damned. Brian Azzarello and Lieber Mijo. They did that Joker book. You remember that one, Matt?
Yep. Oh yeah.
With
Yep.
yeah. The one that we were talking about is kind of how
With
it's based on
just with
Suicide Squad in a way.
oh yeah. The Joker. It was
Yeah,
just called the Joker,
the
where it's
Joker.
all
Yeah,
about the
but he's
henchmen
got the more of the
perspective.
look of like of the Heath Ledger, but he acts more like the Jared Leto Joker. I mean,
Yeah.
really.
Which that's a whole conversation. Yeah.
Right. That's
People
a whole
get
different
so
time.
mad about that Joker, but like what people don't understand is that he actually did a very good job
With the
at
character he
that
was given.
Joker.
That's the thing. I'm never mad at Jared Leto.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at Jared Leto. He did what he was given, and he did
Yeah.
well at it. It's just
Yeah.
I didn't like the character he was given, and that's just my
Exactly.
preference.
No, exactly. I didn't think that it worked well either. And I think that they made Croc too small of a character, whereas in that book he was a very, very decent
Very
sized
prominent character,
So,
yeah. Well, and it's like I feel like they just crammed too much into that movie to try to make
Oh yeah.
it cohesive, and it just wasn't. I don't. For another time.
Anywho,
We've talked. I mean, we talked about how the new one was just miles
Uh,
above the original.
yeah.
So the next one is one more DC, and then I actually have a Marvel book. Holy shit!
Is it Spider-Man 72?
Titan, no. Titans United though is a new Teen Titans series. It just started. It's essentially the same crew that's from the Titans show. We got Dick, you got Starfire, Raven, Beast Boy. Then you got Wonder Girl, Superboy. But you throw Jason Todd in there as Red Hood, which again, season 3 for Titans right now. They're talking Jason Todd, Red Hood. Then you got Hawk and Dove over here. It's essentially the same crew. But what's crazy though is the story. It seems like is about a bad guy who can like absorb their powers, is what it seems like. So the first issue is there's this guy who's like freaking out in the city. He's like about to explode. And the Titans come in, try to calm him down, fight him off, whatever. And it eventually becomes that Superboy has to, he's like, well, fuck it, he's gonna blow up. So I'm just gonna grab him, fly up into the sky, blow up, and fall down. And when he does that, he blows up, he falls down, and he wakes up in the hospital with a bunch of broken arms and like he's broken arms, broken bones and stuff. And everybody's like, yeah, that's not, I mean, you're fucking Superboy. That's not supposed to happen. So we don't know what's going on really. That was it. It was kind of it was just the start to kind of introduce you to what's going on as far as the like whoever's stealing their powers or whatever. So not really much else on it, but it was a good opener. It was a good start. And then the last one, The Death of Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And I got the Scotty Young because I got to do the Scotty Young covers. I always love them. I love it too because on the front here, he's like, cheer up, Doc. Dead doesn't usually mean dead. It's more like a pause dead. And then
Making fun of comic books.
And Spider-Man says, yeah, we've all been there and done that. So, which I mean, they don't bullshit. It's all about Steven. I mean, I guarantee you I know where it's going to an extent. I don't want to say I really know exactly where it's going, but he starts talking about this guy who was able to give himself immortality by essentially removing his soul and hiding it somewhere. So he was able to stay immortal as long as he hid his soul and nobody ever destroyed his soul. And then it's talking about how he's like a doctor, you know, even though he's Doctor Strange, he still gets called over the different areas to surgically do things and
Right.
this and that. So it kind of like talks about him, and then suddenly at his door, somebody rings the doorbell, shows up, and there's like a little bit of a fight, but then it's like it cuts to everybody else. They get a call, they go over to him, and he's stabbed to death on the ground. So the problem with me not being a very big Marvel fan is that I don't know half of what's going on in these stories. Like they mention stuff that happened in the past, or they mention other characters, and I can't help but be like,
got no idea.
No clue. So it was good. It's good, and I'm definitely anxious to see where it goes, mainly because I mean, it's the death of Doctor Strange, so obviously they'll bring it back at some point somehow. But at the very end, he's like, well, I didn't split my soul, but I did come up with something. And so it's like right as at the very end, somebody else who looks like Stephen Strange comes through a portal and is like, oh, well, if I'm here, then the worst has happened. So let me know what the like. Tell me fill me in. What the fuck's going on? And that's the end. So good read, good story, good start. I again don't know a whole lot about like some of the other characters that are in it. That's just because I've never read really a whole lot of the Stephen Strange stuff. So yeah, that's it. That's it on comics, at least for me this week. The only other thing I was wanting to talk about is I watched a movie on Netflix. I had heard about this movie in advance, but I finally watched it. It's called Kate. It's Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who is Ramona Flowers. If you don't know who Mary Elizabeth Winstead is, she's also Huntress in the Birds of Prey movie.
Or Cranked 2021.
Dude, yeah, well, yeah, Kate is essentially Cranked 3. Which, I mean, how the hell did they ever get away with Crank 2, to be honest with you?
High voltage!
I know, but did he jump out of a helicopter in the end of the first one and like land on the ground? And then that was like the things you saw, like the eye twitch at the very end. And so they did a second one. I don't know. That was nuts. But yeah, Kate, man, I loved it. I loved everything about it. I loved the the idea, like you said, is clearly unoriginal. To an extent, I mean, because hers is more of because that was kind of the whole thing with him too, right? Is he was trying to hunt somebody down, he got poisoned for basically hunting down the wrong fucking dude, right? Like,
it's been so long, but I know that he was poisoned.
It has been a while, but yeah, he's poisoned. He's got like 24 hours to live, or he's just dying, so he has to keep juicing himself to stay alive. Yeah, same with her. She's got like less than a day to live, and she
takes adrenaline.
Keeps taking adrenaline and shit to keep herself going.
Well, and man, like I thought Netflix has struggled lately, man. When they started losing their contracts,
dude, and the prices just keep going up too. Like prices go up and the quality's going down. Like, I don't mean to be that way, but it is.
No, and I mean the thing is like they are worth like, I don't remember the last time I looked at the stock, but they're worth a couple $100 per share. And it's like, I don't understand why they're still so high, because like they have lost all their contracts and they continue to delete material that fans are reading and or fans are watching,
and continue to cancel shows that are like phenomenal. Like, and I will never understand it. The personal one was Santa Clarita Diet. I love that.
Me too, bro.
And
me too.
So pissed when they canceled it, because the problem isn't that they canceled it. It's like, if you know you're going to cancel it, maybe run one more season and give it a proper ending or something. Like even just a special, just to wrap it up. There's so many of these loose ends that they keep leaving. But yes, this was a
good. I'd say the original movie from Netflix that I watched last before this. Oh my gosh, it was along the similar lines where a hitman was trying to get out, and he has like a retirement plan, and they end up. It's based on a comic. Now it's going to drive me crazy. I'm going to have to pull it up. Talk about Kate.
Well, yeah, you pull it up, and so
Kate was good.
I mean, it's like I said, Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I mean, we've kind of danced around it, but yeah, she's a hitman. She is tasked with taking somebody out, and she goes to take him out, but she kind of hesitates because there's a kid involved. There's a kid there, like standing right next to the guy she's about to take out, so she doesn't like the idea of doing it in front of the kid. But anyway, she takes out the guy. Next like day or two or something, she's tasked with taking somebody else out. And she finds out when she's about to shoot that she's like loopy, and she finds out she got poisoned, so she's got like less than a day to live. So she decides to hunt down and kill every motherfucker who poisoned her or who was responsible for poisoning her. And what's up?
I've got that. And if you're interested, it's crazy. It got such a low score, and I on Rotten Tomatoes and Meteoric, but I actually thought it was one of their better, newer original movies. It's called Polar.
Okay.
It's got Mads Mikkelsen, so he's Hannibal from the Hannibal series.
He's going to be Grindelwald.
Yeah,
that's one of those. I will tell you about it.
Well, and I didn't know that it got such a low score, but I actually really liked it. It's been out for 2 years, so it's like Netflix, man, they've been struggling since they lost all their contracts, and everybody, they lost their Marvel contracts, and then
it's almost not even
out.
I was about to say it's almost not even that they're struggling; it's that their competition is getting better, and they're not. Like, they're kind of just staying the same.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, but let's get back to it. Kate was the action, dude. The action was on fucking point, and I personally absolutely loved that it takes place in Okana in Tokyo, so it's in Japan the entire time. So there's all this
night stuff,
and
Japan
like
at night is unbelievable.
And, black lights everywhere and neon lights everywhere, stuff like that, and its setting is beautiful. The action is awesome, and I will say one thing that I constantly felt through this whole movie is that Mary Elizabeth Winstead would be an awesome Ripley if they decided to redo
Alien. Right, dude. She would be
fantastic.
Amazing.
And this movie, I feel like just seals that. Like, especially when she's got that short hair, I was just like, yes, dude.
That's fucking Ripley.
Yeah. Yes.
I got that feeling too, bro.
I mean, the story's a little cheesy. It's a little bit predictable. It's a little bit, but you're not in it for the story. You're in it for the action. The action was on point. It is brutal. It's John Wick level action in terms of there's the scene where she gets somebody up the throat and you actually see it come out like his nose area. It was so gross, gnarly.
I still, as much as good as it was, my favorite cheesy action in that genre kind of feel is still going to be shoot 'em up. Shoot 'em up will always be my baseline, and it's are you above it or are you below it? Because I just love Monica Bellucci, and I love that movie. It's But Kate is very good, man. I'd give it a solid 7.
Did you finish it?
I didn't finish it, man. I'm like
no, that's
2/3 of the way in. But
do you mind if I spoil you one thing about the finishing? I'm just gonna flat out spoil it. Spoiler.
Can I try a prediction?
Go ahead.
What's his name? Who plays Carnage?
Woody
Harrelson's the one that poisoned her.
He's behind the whole thing.
Yep.
And that's why I was like, the story is kind of predictable. But no, what I was going to get at, though, and I didn't want to spoil that part, but what I was going to get at, though, was that they don't bitch out. She dies at the end,
That's good. Thank you.
Right. And that's why I was like, I kept sitting here like, man, if they come up with some bullshit, we've got a cure for you, so you're good. Like,
that's why that's why I love Infinity War. It's okay to have the good guys lose.
Climactic.
Okay,
it ends. It's an ending to it. Oh, for Infinity War. Yeah. No, and that was what was so great. It's the same as Empire or just the movies that don't end on such a good
Dark
note.
Knight.
It doesn't have to always end on, it doesn't always have to end on the heroes win.
Sunshine and rainbow.
Of course they honestly, even Endgame, yes, they win, but Tony's dead. Cap got to go off and have his good life. So fuck
but he's dead.
He's old and gone. We lost a few people.
Scarlet Witch
still dead.
Scarlet
Witch is
Black Widow. Sorry, I was thinking Black Widow. Yeah, and Vision's dead. Dead.
Gamora is technically back, but a different Gamora. Which I couldn't. Okay, there's one complaint. If you could go back and pick up a different Gamora, why not go back and pick up a different Black Widow?
Right.
Whatever. Because it's like there was somebody who was arguing with me about that. They're like, yeah, but she's not from the same time. And I'm like, okay, get the Black Widow from a different time. Like, what are you talking about? I mean, they killed Thanos from a different time. Yeah. They brought back Gamora from a different time, but you can't bring back Black Widow from a different time.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is the fact that they made a deal not to mess with the timelines too much. I don't know, but I agree. Like, why can't you just go back and get an earlier Vision? Right.
So whatever, but yes, Kate, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. Action was good. Story was what you'd expect from an action story. Not amazing, but still okay. Overall, I'd say about a 7, maybe 8 out of 10 because I loved it. I thought the action was amazing.
Yeah.
So right on.
The visuals were great. So
visuals, dude. And then the first 20 or so minutes or 20 or 30 minutes when she realizes she's all poisoned, she jacks this neon car that's all decked out. And I was just like, holy shit.
Tokyo
the
Drift.
whole action scene I was just like, shit, this is awesome. It's kind of a little bit obvious that it's all CG'd, but it doesn't matter. It looked
really good. Yeah,
it looked really cool. All right, I think that's it for me.
Well, there's one more thing that you're going to talk about, but
we can talk about that later. Yeah. So all right, what's up, man? open my door for my cat. So go ahead and start talking. I'm
Oh, yeah.
listening. I'm listening, bro.
So a lot happened in the past 2 weeks in the form of announcements and stuff like that. So I'm going to go over quite a few. The first one, anybody who doesn't know, this is my wedding ring, and I'll try to hold it up a little bit close.
Showing off my wedding ring.
Kind of hard to see, but it's the Spectre ring, from the Spectre organization from James Bond. I'm a diehard Bond guy, man, and I know you either love them or hate them, or there's not too many indifferent people.
I'm one of the rare indifferent people. I don't hate him, but I've never been like, I'm gonna fucking go to this movie because it's fucking James Bond. I've always been like, I mean, and to me, I think a big part of that is just because I miss my Pierce Brosnan.
Well, but I mean,
he's gonna be Dr. Fate. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So there was an announcement that No Time to Die has once again moved to April 2nd, 2021. And the funny thing is like I was on YouTube before this,
2022,
2022. I was on YouTube before this, and there's still like these videos that are saying coming October 3rd, and it's just like, man, this movie is supposed to have been out 3 years ago.
Wait, it got pushed to April
of 2022, bro.
What? I thought I remember hearing it got pushed to like November or December or
right.
something.
So here's the deal. So here's the deal is that they have to make like $750 million to break even because of the licensing and all the money that they put into it. But they're having to go back and do reshoots because like product placement doesn't exist anymore because of Corona.
Oh, you told me about that.
Yeah. It's just it's a clusterfuck. And like, here's my thing. Netflix offered them like $400 or $500 million. Like, I get it. I get it. I would have cut my losses. This is just getting crazy.
It's not like the studio can't afford to cut a little bit of losses,
Right. And you're banking on making, basically $1 billion. Given what's going on with coronavirus, it's not going to happen now.
I think that's why they pushed it again. Then, that makes sense.
And three out of the 4 that Craig's been in so far have broken $1 billion worldwide. So I get that. I just don't. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's going to be years. I don't think that even next summer you'll see a movie break $1 billion. It's just given what's happened with all of this stuff.
Now possibly $1 billion if you count combined digital / theater sales, possibly $1 billion, but maybe. Theater sales, no.
That's a disappointment. Back on the Netflix though. So there's been a show. I'll be honest, I haven't watched it, but just news everywhere has been blasting it. Chicago Party Ant. Netflix has been hit or miss. They've got some good shows that are cartoons. Like I really like F is for Family, Big Mouth.
I couldn't get into F is for Family. I like Big Mouth though.
I'm a big Bill Burr fan. So
for some reason I'm not a huge Bill Burr. Sorry, good.
So, but that one's been blasted all over everywhere. But
what's the show called again? I'm sorry.
Chicago Party Ant. And it's gotten blasted pretty rough. But the second announcement from Netflix, in my opinion, is insanely cheesy. And if you haven't seen the trailer yet, Escape the Undertaker. And I was part of the Attitude Era. That was like the late 90s, early 2000s, Stone Cold, The Rock, and all them. So like, I was a huge fan. And that's kind of when they started doing, when The Rock did Scorpion King, when he became the Scorpion King in the second Mummy, WWF, WWE now decided that they wanted to start making like WWE studios and start making their own movies. And so there's been a bunch of cheesy ones like The Condemned and everything in between. But
dude, The Condemned was a straight up ripoff of Battle Royale.
Straight
up ripoff.
Escape the Undertaker is coming to Netflix, and it's a interactive movie, which means you as the viewer can pick what I think it's New Age. I think that's what Kofi Kingston's group's called. I can't remember.
This looks incredible.
It looks incredibly cheesy.
No, that's what I mean. The New Day wrestlers seek to survive supernatural surprises. The Undertaker's spooky man.
And so Kofi Kingston in the New Day is Anybody who doesn't know, Undertaker retired, so he's not wrestling anymore. So it's really cool to actually see him though.
Yeah.
But they're going to his mansion to try to get the urn, which holds the power of the Undertaker. And so it looks insanely cheesy. It looks insanely stupid. And I'm gonna watch it as soon as it gets released.
Time, great. You know, like I want to watch. I'm not even a big wrestling fan, but of course I know who the Undertaker is. I mean, I have no idea who the New Day wrestlers are, but shit, dude, with how amazing this sounds, I can't help it. I gotta watch it, man.
Right. So that's something I'm actually excited for. So the next thing is the Stand TV show came out in late 2020 and early 2021, and I actually missed it. I really like Stephen King. I'm a big book guy. I like reading books. I like listening to books. And I really liked the Dome until they started adding people into it, but that's another thing. But the Stand, I love the show.
I never watched the Dome.
It's got mixed reviews. The first like season's really good, but then they started like adding people in, and
that's what I heard too. Is I heard that after like the first or maybe second season, it just wasn't good anymore. Like it wasn't good anymore.
But the Stand, which was initially supposed to be just a mini series one shot, Stephen King rewrote the ending of it, and so hopefully we're going to get a second season. I really like it.
That too. It's like something like he wrote it like 30 years ago, but then like nowadays, like rewrote the ending so that they could kind of.
He rewrote it. Yeah, he rewrote it for the show. So, but it takes place. Cool. Yeah, it takes place in a super viral form of the flu has killed 99% of the world. And then you have this evil entity, which is, God, I can't remember his name, but his first name, but his last name's Flag. And it's, oh my God, man, it's played by, Matt. No,
I thought you were talking about, okay. The Stand, right?
Yeah. It's played by the guy from True Blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love him as
Alexander Skarsgård.
Yeah. And so he plays Flag, the
Randall
bad guy.
Flag.
Randall Flag. And then you've got Whoopi Goldberg, who plays this like 107-year-old good entity.
Okay.
And so you've got this good entity that's pulling everybody to Boulder, Colorado. This
I'm watching it.
Bad entity who's pulling everybody to New Vegas. And so it's kind of like Sodom and Gomorrah is in New Vegas, where it's just sex and drugs and battles to the death and everything. But even I'm not super religious. I don't do a lot of religious stuff. The religious undertones are good for this. Like it's just it's a battle for good and evil. And so it's very interesting. It's very well done, very well written, very well acted. I would give it a solid 8 out of 10. And Sarsgaard, I mean, dude, he makes the show.
Yeah, Amber Heard's in it, so nope.
Yeah,
justice for Johnny Depp, bro.
I know. Trust me, I know. And I agree, but like his performance is amazing, and the ending is amazing. So I would definitely recommend it if you're looking for like a post-apocalyptic show to watch. Or something with really good writing, really good acting. It's a solid 8 out of 10. So going from that, we're going to move a little bit into comics. Man, me and Josh talked about this last episode. Just more and more information is coming out about Venom, Let There Be Carnage. And when they released the runtime, I was so disappointed. An hour and a half is just not enough.
Dude, if I'm being totally honest with you, I've been disappointed with everything I've seen for this movie.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. But it just keeps going. Like the disappointments just keep going. Like more and more.
And don't I love Woody Harrelson as an actor.
Yep. I love Tom Hardy as an actor. Both of them.
I'm gonna say the thing that everybody probably don't want me to say, but like Woody's too old, man. I'm sorry. I don't think he's a good fit for the role just because he's too old. Like, I'm sorry. I think he will act the part well, but
you can't even give a background story on how Carnage happened or what Carnage is in an hour and a half. I'm sorry.
And I can't help but wonder, God, like it's just from the start, because they didn't incorporate Spider-Man immediately. I can't help but be like, I mean, Venom didn't even technically get the whole point of Venom looking the way he looks is because he went onto Spider-Man first. I'm sorry. Let's just,
Yeah.
but yes, the
Yep.
hour and a half runtime pissed me off too, for sure.
Yeah. And just more and more just keeps disappointing me with this.
I really hope that it surprises. I hope that it does amazing.
I do too.
I 100% got the post credits spoiled. You want me to spoil it?
Go ahead.
Do you want me to spoil it? Do you want me to spoil it?
Do it. Tom's there.
Tom Hardy? Yeah, he's there.
No, Holland.
So yeah, apparently the ending in spoilies is that he's like in a hotel room or something, and on the TV is playing Jay Jonah when he's at the end of Spider-Man 2, and he's like, "Oh, Spider-Man is Peter Parker," and apparently he's like Venom. The actual Venom inside is just like, "Oh, screw that guy" or something like that, and then that's it. Like, so they acknowledge the fact that that they are in the same universe.
Yeah,
that's all.
So the other bit of Marvel news is there's a lawsuit fighting right now for Spider-Man and Doctor Strange.
I think a few others, right?
Well, those I think it's just those two. But anyways, the lawsuit's done by Steve Ditko's estate, so his grandkids and everything like that. And it's one of those things that's a very hard subject. Whereas I feel like the Scarlett Johansson lawsuit, everybody's kind of behind Scarlett Johansson.
Right.
This one's a little bit tougher because like me and Josh talked a little bit, and I'm like, I agree with Marvel, man. Like you did this. Now that's given, and I don't know the contracts or anything, that they're paying royalties to that estate. If Marvel is paying royalties to that estate, then I agree with Marvel. If they're not paying anything to that estate, I'm sorry. You got to give props where props are due, and I believe that Stan Lee's estate and Ditko's estate and all these guys.
It's not just those. I mean, we're talking Iron Man, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Ant-Man, Hawkeye, Black Widow, Falcon, Thor. Jesus.
Yeah, and I think that the reason why it's for those two characters is because those two characters' contracts have are coming up and being expired.
Right.
And so but I jokingly told Josh, I said, you know what? Even if I agree with Marvel, if this lawsuit gets Spider-Man away from Sony, I'm all for it. And Sony's done some good things. And don't get me wrong, I agree with Josh that Disney's done some bad things with Spider-Man too. The one good thing they've done at Sony is the animated is the Spider-Verse.
Oh, Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes. Yeah. But that's by far the best Spider-Man thing in my opinion.
The best Spider-Man thing.
But I'm waiting to see. So once more information comes out about the lawsuits, about what they're paying the estate and everything like that, I'll have more of a judgment but for right now, unlike the Scarlett Johansson lawsuit, which is technically against Disney. I
think everybody backs Scarlett on that one. But I think it's more of I'm 100% in the middle because there's a part of me that wants Marvel to keep the rights because part of me wants Marvel to keep pushing out this shit, and I'm worried that if the other side wins, that they would have to just like rebuy it from them, and then they wouldn't want to do it, and then it would be this whole thing, and I'm worried that it would all start falling apart. On the other hand, I 100% agree that they fucking created the characters, so they deserve something from it for sure.
Which I don't know what they're paying them or if they're paying them kind of thing. So I try to hold off on judgment on that.
Mm-hmm.
So the next thing I've got is anybody who knows me, who's watching, or anybody who's ever known me, one of my favorite things is Jeopardy, is Saturday Night Live Jeopardy. And as much as I love Sean Connery, the Sean Connery impersonation, which was amazing, what also made that was Norm Macdonald as Burt Reynolds. And I've called my child.
Sorry, his name's not Burt Reynolds. What's his real name?
Turd Ferguson. So my oldest, her nickname is Turd Ferguson.
That's not my name.
Say it right. Turd Ferguson. And so unfortunately, Norm Macdonald passed away, and and he's one that kind of crossed genres. So like, I didn't know this until here recently, but he was a big poker guy. So like, there's a lot of like,
I didn't know that,
people who are in the poker industry and everything that miss him. You got stand-up comics, you got Saturday Night Live, you got the movies. He was a truly funny person, would cut the shit with any of his fans.
So can I tell you a personal reason why this one hit a little harder than some of the other ones that have passed away recently? First time that I ever smoked weed, I watched the movie Dirty Work with Norm MacDonald, and it was one of the funniest goddamn things I'd ever done in my life because I never smoked before, and the movie was just so outrageous, and I laughed my ass off the entire time. And yeah, he will always kind of hold a spot because
hold a special place.
First time I ever smoked weed.
Wait a minute, you smoke weed?
And it was I live in California, son.
It's medicinal.
It's medicinal. But hell no, even out here, your recreational is good. So
no, but Norm was a amazing part of my childhood, my teen years. Dirty Work. But man, like I could go back and rewatch Saturday Night Live, Jeopardy. I do it every year. Him as Burt Reynolds and Hammond as Sean Connery, and then Farrell as Trebek.
Trebek, yeah.
And I make the argument. Well, I'm not going to open that can of worms. But I would love to see Will Ferrell go on Jeopardy just once, with him passing and just do his bit. So,
right.
But truly sad day for a lot of people because he touched so many people.
It really was, man. For some reason, like there's been a lot of celebrities, over the past year or so, and that one hit me harder, man. It was it was depressing. And I will go on record and say I don't know anybody in this world who uses the term turd Ferguson as much as you do, Matt. So it's definitely. It was definitely hard. It was the hit. It was so. I remember because I texted you and I was like, "Dude, no more turd Ferguson." You were like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And he meant so much with everything, man. I remember he got a lot of backlash over one of the roast, and he came out like really dry. And it was funny because like I had read afterwards, like he was doing that on purpose to kind of get a reaction. And so like he never conformed to social norms or to what people think he should do or, all that stuff. He did what he wanted to do.
And he never came out. He had cancer, right? Isn't that what it was? Yeah. And it was like a private thing. He never came out and was like, brought it up or whatever. He wanted everybody to just, not worry about it. So.
I'd say as far as like comedians, man, like this death is up there with, I wasn't alive when Belushi died, but I was alive when Farley died, and Farley's was the hardest. But this one's up there with it, man, because Norm, like Josh said, dude, I've held the Turd Ferguson moniker and used the Turd Ferguson moniker so many times.
So much.
I absolutely loved Norm, and I thought that he was a great person on top of being an astounding comedian.
Yes.
So truly a big loss. So I've got two more things.
Sir.
So yes, one more thing, and then we're going to talk about what me and you were going to talk about together. So I'm a big reader. I like to read not just comic books, but books as well. I do a lot of Audible also. And we're not going to get too much into the details, but I will recommend this book by Bob Woodward. It's called Peril. And Bob's done a couple of books involving, what's happened in the past couple of years and everything like that. But this book focuses more on the transition from Donald Trump to Joe Biden and a lot of what happened on January 6th. And I really think that January 6th is going to live in infamy, kind of like, 9/11 and everything like that. So if you're looking for a very good read and some more behind the scenes about, everything that was going on and the massive concern involving military use and nuclear weapons and how and what people can and can't do, I would definitely recommend it. And whether you're on the right or left doesn't matter.
I was about to say, no matter what side you're on, it sounds like an informative read. You were telling me about it beforehand.
Yes,
it sounds like it's very informative.
Yes. And so I always promote books whenever I get a chance because I love to read. I mainly love to listen to Audible while I'm working or while I'm working out or something like that. Even cutting the grass. So I love Audible.
And I feel like Audible's meant for like, what are you, 7 years old and can't read yourself, bro?
No, I like to sit down and read too, but I
I know.
got three
I'm
girls.
totally, I'm
I got
totally kidding.
you
I'm
know,
totally kidding. I just,
right.
I have a
It's
buddy
hard.
who does Audible for everything, and he's like, "Oh, I just read through this." I'm like, "No, you didn't. Somebody read it to you. You didn't read it."
Well, and I mean, think about it though.
I'm
Like
just messing with
you've got one. Think about it, though. You got one kid, and it's hard for you to sit down and read one
it.
comic by
It
yourself.
is. It is.
You
And
know,
I'm
imagine.
totally
Oh,
just
I
ragging
know.
on you. I'm
Oh, I
totally
know.
ragging on you.
But I get that. I get that and understand it. But I would definitely recommend it. I would say it's a solid 8 out of 10.
Yeah,
You
good
know,
book.
and I think that the first 20 minutes are by far some of the most intense reading, listening I've ever
Yeah.
had. You know, it's and it brings up a lot of what's legal, what's not legal, what's treason, and what's not treason. So
Right.
definitely recommend it if you're looking for a read, if you're looking for a listen. So
Well, and I will say that, like, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna go on here and say which side I'm on, but let's just say I will say that there's always things that both sides get right and both sides get wrong. And that's
yeah.
it's just it's crazy to me how ignorant some people are and still want to argue the way they argue, I guess.
Yeah. So, but the last thing to end on a very high note, in my opinion,
Okay, so
the announcement.
so this has caught all kinds of I'm telling you, it's caught all kinds of shit on internet, on the interwebs, the
It's
interwebs.
so fucking stupid. I want to know what
we're talking about. We're
shit.
talking about the Super Mario movie. Now, this was actually announced like a year or two ago that Illumination, the company who makes Despicable Me, was going to be working on a Super Mario movie. At first, dude, my first reaction was yes, like that's who I would want working on it, because those movies, regardless of what you actually think of them, they sell millions, or they make
they're
millions
funny
of dollars.
too. They're funny.
I'm sorry, I think they're fucking hilarious. I think they're great. So I was super pumped for this, and then they announced this cast, and
just a couple days ago too.
And I loved it. I thought it sounded cool, but like, God, everybody. Okay, first of all, Chris Pratt was announced as Mario, and I'm gonna be honest. My first time when I heard it, I read it wrong and thought it was Chris Pine, and so I was like, oh, okay, but then realized it was Chris Pratt, and I was like, okay. I mean, I'll take that. I'll work with that, But no, dude. Look up, like, everybody's posting memes about, like, really, we survived a pandemic just so we could deal with Chris Pratt being Mario, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Like what happened? I thought that he was one of the beloved Chris's. Like I thought that, like everybody loved him. Like,
so this is random, but there are people who I guess don't like him because his religion, I guess, hates gay people or something. I'm not saying he hates gay people, but I guess his religion hates gay people or something to that effect. So people always get mad at him about that.
You know who I'm excited for, though?
Oh, fucking Charlie Day.
Dude,
Charlie Day as Luigi is one of the most perfect things I've ever heard. I was like, yes.
Jack Black as Bowser.
Jack Black as
fucking Seth
Bowser.
Rogen as Donkey Kong.
Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong.
Keegan Michael Key as Toad. Like, dude, I'm sorry, but yeah.
And even Peach is going to be I forget her name, but she's even somebody. She's
Anna Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, she's I think she was cast well. I think that was a good call.
I cannot wait to see Charlie Day and Chris Pratt go back and forth as fucking Mario
and Luigi, right?
Dude, I'm a diehard Charlie Day fan. I could tell you, in our circle of friends, I was the first one to introduce everybody to Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I remember vividly having that house over on Shenandoah and us sitting on the computer because you could get FX for free on the computer at the time. And I would watch that show religiously.
Dude, Hulu used to be free with ads.
Yep. Yeah. And I mean, dude, Charlie Day has been one of my favorite comedians for the past 15 years, 20 years. And to have a running sitcom, first of all, that was nothing, all of a sudden get Danny fucking DeVito to come online with it.
Right.
And it's on like season 16, 17, 18, something like that.
I want to say they 14, but they got renewed for like 2 more or something like that.
but like this cast just looks amazing.
Dude,
And so
I
I
can't
don't,
wait for it. I
what,
can't wait
yeah,
for it. But
like,
yeah, everybody's like bashing on it for some reason.
and I mean, the only thing that I could say is, and I'm not in that boat. The only argument that I could understand with this is maybe Jack Black is Bowser. I don't know how he's gonna
Well,
sound, because he
I
has
know
more of like a good sounding voice.
and to me, I think that was the indication that they're definitely going to take it less serious, which, I'm kind of
Yeah.
upset about that. I was hoping for more of a, like, okay, there's a difference between
Oh, come
being,
on. You don't like this 1993
well,
Super Mario Brothers
but that's
movie?
kind of what I'm getting
Yeah.
at. It's like there's a difference between taking yourself seriously but joking every now and then versus just full on, like, because Sonic wasn't bad.
No, I liked
And it
it.
was surprisingly good, but it's like it was a kid's show but still took itself seriously. Like, it wasn't like a big gag about, oh look, Sonic, like, it wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, we'll see, because
So
there is a lot of comedians in this.
right, and so, like, that's, I think, is my only concern, is that there might be overly trying to make it funny. That would be my only concern. But dude, I think the cast sounds awesome. I think the cast sounds great.
All right.
Which, by the way, they finished season 14 of Always Sunny in 2019. Season 15, it's not out yet. The first episode is called 2020: A Year in Review. So I'm very excited to see what that's going to be.
Dude, I'm such a huge Charlie Day fan, and I cannot wait
Jesus
to
Christ.
see those two.
They got
work
renewed
together.
they got renewed up to season 18.
Yeah, I mean, I'll watch anything with Charlie Day. I will watch anything with Charlie Day.
What was he? Was it Pacific Rim or Godzilla?
Yep.
Pacific Rim. Pacific Rim.
And he's the most redeeming quality of the second movie. Like,
right.
Him and Ron Perlman in the first movie were great. Like,
yep.
I just love Charlie's. He's like a sweet,
His
innocent.
Presence. Yeah.
He's like a sweet, innocent, crazy fucking dude,
Especially on Always Sunny, dude.
Da-da-da.
Yeah, especially on Always Sunny, man. Honestly, I think one of my favorite, I'm not gonna say it's my favorite, but one of my favorite episodes is Charlie Work, where it's all about him the whole episode. It shows all the background stuff that he does in the bar to keep it running, basically.
Well, yeah, and I mean, him and Frank, or him and Danny are just, I mean, they those two comedic legend. I mean, like, you talk about some of the perfect comedic pairings.
Yeah,
that's up there, man, because those guys back and forth are just,
and it's weird how well it works. Yeah, because
right.
like, you wouldn't expect them to work well together, but they do. So yeah, I think it looks great. I think it looks great. I'm super pumped for it.
I'm super pumped for it. And I think that if you're going to give it to one studio, I completely agree. Going to Illumination was a great choice.
I think, short of like Nintendo making it themselves or whatever, I think Illumination is a fantastic studio to do it.
Yeah,
fantastic.
So I'm hyped. And Josh told me that there was pushback online, and I was like, for what?
It's Chris Pratt, and I don't know if it's just because everybody's like, oh, I don't want Chris Pratt being Mario, or if it's because of the religion thing, or if it's because of something else.
People just being like trolls,
I guess. But it's like, well, I've had like friends sharing it, and somebody shared something that said that they were like, imagine surviving the pandemic only to see Chris Pratt play Mario. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like,
of all the picks, like, for Mario, I would have not the least, but very little problems with having Chris Pratt as Mario. Right. Who the fuck do they want as Mario?
Right. I mean, John Leguizamo was Luigi, and he was fantastic at it. I would say what you will. I fucking love those. I love that movie.
I do too.
I understand how horrible they are.
Oh my God, the Koopa heads still haunt my nightmares, man. Like the fucking little fucking Koopa heads, dude.
I understand people's problems with it and how everybody thinks so stupid it is, but I love it. I love it. And I think it's just because I grew up with it,
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm super
pumped for it. I think that's about it, though. I think that's all we got. Yeah. So we are on episode 19. This has been so much fun. I love doing this, man, and I love. Obviously, we've both been a little bit busy this past couple of weeks, so hopefully we can start catching back up and getting more out there.
Well, and one idea that anybody who watches, who would like to get an opinion, send an email or put a comment on the video. Josh and I talked about opening up a second channel, and maybe even multiple channels. But
I was about to say maybe even multiple.
But at least starting with a second channel to do sports.
Yeah, because
And
Matt's a
so
big sports guy. I'm not huge into sports. I could probably talk some football. I don't know the first damn thing about who's who in basketball or uh what else would you talk? Baseball, I guess. I don't know.
baseball, MMA,
Oh
NHL,
yeah,
you
there's that
can.
stuff too. I
I'm a
can't
big
see. I don't
MMA
know.
guy, so
I don't know
and
jack. All I
anybody.
know about
Okay,
MMA is Conor McGregor. That's the only
okay.
fucking dude I even know.
I'm gonna say one thing on MMA and end it like this, man. I cannot wait tonight. Nate Diaz's Nick Diaz coming back to fight Robbie fucking Lawler, my favorite fighter of all time. Connor's second because I love fucking shit talking. So, but I Robbie Lawler versus Nick fucking Diaz, and it's not even the top of the fucking card. Let's go. So,
See,
yeah.
so
So
yeah, if you ever,
if you're interested, give us your opinions, because I would love to sit around and talk sports.
Oh, and I mean, I was even thinking like you said, maybe we could set up multiple channels,
Yeah.
and we could set up one that's like gaming, but more of yes, we'll show off games, but also like talk games. We could talk like gaming news and or just a new game that came out that you want to show people or tell people about or something. But like talk more like we were talking about, possibly making some other channels. So if you guys are liking it, especially that sports one, I'm totally down with
that'd be a trial, see how it goes kind of thing. So
I'm down with like it the thing you would want to know is that would probably be mostly Matt. That would probably be mostly you. Which side are we on here? I don't know if we're recording. So mostly this guy. So just keep that in mind. I know you're gonna miss this mug, but so but either way, yeah, if you guys are interested in that, if you guys want, if you're enjoying what you're hearing, if you're enjoying what you're watching, you want to hear some various other things like sports and or games or whatever, just let us know. Hit us in the comments, hit us in the my emails on the website. I haven't been on the website lately, but it's cowsden.com, or you know what, I'm just gonna say it right here, the cows in the den at gmail.com. Hit up that email and give us a suggestion. Always take them, always listening. So thank you guys so much for listening, especially for 19 motherfucking episodes, and I'm super pumped for episode 20, man. Let's keep this going, let's keep it rolling. As always, if you guys could like, subscribe, always, we don't want to overly push that, but definitely if you guys can like and subscribe and stuff, it always allows us to do more. Yep. And we always want to do more. So definitely thank you guys. Either way, thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you.
See you next time. Peace.